All right, good evening. We're so glad that you could stay for another one of our musicians on missions. And this time it's a treat for me because I have not heard my friend Jackson play before, and I'm very much looking forward to it. We all have appreciated Crystal and the musicians she has brought, and I've almost always had at least one sneak peek of these musicians, whether it was at the school or over at UMKC, but I have never actually heard Jackson play. So I'm very excited about this. We want to thank all of you for staying. I know it's a long day, especially some of you who come for Sunday school, Sunday morning, Sunday night, and we're very thankful that you could stay and participate in this night of music. And I'm sure you'll be very blessed to enjoy this special time with our friends. So without further ado, I'll let Crystal and Jackson come and explain to us what they're going to do tonight.
Hello guys, my name is Jackson, and I come from Beijing, China, which is the capital of China. And I've been playing cello for almost 16 years. So I've been playing at my 6. And right now I'm UMKC student and double major. One major is cello performance, and one other major is music composition. So this is my first time at Olivet Church today. I'm very glad I have the opportunity to play my music for you guys. Yeah, it's a very good chance to share my music. And I will play first today to introduce this concert. It's the Baja Cello Suite, which is the Baja Ride to the God. So, and I will play the number 3 suite tonight at the first time for the prelude and bourrée first and second. So the number 3 suite is the most brightest piece that the Baja Ride for cello. So I think this is a very beautiful way to connect with God. So I will share this to you guys. Thank you. So the next one, well, the beret. Beret is a really like bright and light dance. And why I have to notice it, there is the first one and the second one, because if the first one is a major, the second one will be the minor. Well, if the first one in the minor and the second one in the major. So you guys will hear the slightly change the point in this piece. Thank you.
Written by Beethoven, of course. Again, a sonata Opus 106, and it was titled Hammerklavier. And Beethoven himself described this piece as, I'm writing this piece not for pianists today. I'm writing it for pianists 5 years later, because this is just that hard, that no pianist in my time could handle it. And that's true. Nobody played it until decades later. Our very famous virtuosic pianist Franz Liszt did the first debut of this piece. And this piece has many, many mosts. One of the most is that it is still the most difficult piano sonata in the classical piano world. And then it has the longest slow movement. The third movement is almost 15 minutes of one movement. And it has the longest fugue, like the fourth movement. Only God knows how I memorized it. Today, I'm going to only play the first movement. It's technically very, very challenging. As I said, very few have the courage to play this piece, and very few can actually experience the whole journey of listening to it. So after this concert, I really suggest you guys to listen to the whole thing. It's very, very hard to understand the piece, but it is a journey that is worth the inspiration and worth the thinking. And so I know this is a very challenging time. I'm bringing this piece to just make your life a little bit more challenging. So you're welcome.
Okay, it's me again. After a long piece, I will give you guys some caffeine product. A short piece is written by Swan. It's called Allegro Apostle. It's really like fast and energetic piece. And for Swan and cello, Swan write a lot of cello pieces like number 1 and number 2 cello concerto, number 1 and number 2 and number 3 cello sonatas, and of course the Swan from the Carnival of the Animals, one of the most beautiful and the most popular piece for cello. And for this one, so the original piece is for cello and orchestra, and the composer arranged this piece to the cello and piano reduction. And it's really, I hope you guys will like this. It's really like coffee. Okay. It is a really fast piece and energetic piece. And the last piece we guys will show you guys is the Swan by Saint-Saëns, the same composer. And this one is the famous, the most famous piece for cello. I mean, the cello repertoire. So, because why Saint-Saëns used the cello to, to animate the Swan, because the cello sound is really like the human voice. It's really elegant, and and the range is really the variety of the range. You can see I will play the lowest note. It's like the contrabass can play, and I will play the high voice. It's almost like the violin register. So it's the sound changes really big. So I think that's why the Saint-Saëns use the cello to perform what Swan likes. So hopefully you guys will enjoy.
is time for questions and answers. Anything about cello, anything about us, anything. Please.
My first question is, when the two of you practice, the hours that you practice, do you have two separate places that you get away from each other? How do you practice as a couple?
We fight. We fight for spaces. that's the truth.
Yeah.
Sometimes we practice in different rooms.
You know, if you draw something and you only can hear yourself voice, so you can't hear others. Actually, the piano is a real loud instrument. I actually like what she played before. It's really loud piece. Da 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 da. So and when I play very high register, and I can only hear my voice. So we're fine, We have like some balance.
Yeah, so that's fair.
So actually, I will play in the bathroom. Because I can play everywhere.
Yeah.
Maybe and because the piano where it is, so it can't move. So she only can play in the dining hall or
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Good question. Please. When's next concert? What do you like?
Yeah.
we will think about new.
Yeah, we'll think about the new repertoire and.
I was approached actually, if you have music that you like the most, please let us know. We can play them, and we can dedicate to people here.
Yeah,
that
and
would be special.
because I, as a composer, I can just arrange the piece that if it's not for cello or for piano, it's totally fine. If you guys want some orchestra piece, I can arrange to the cello and piano reduction version. Yeah. So.
All right. How did you meet? And was it here in the U.S. or was it in China? But we need a little love story.
Okay. You.
Okay. So 2008, we went to the same elementary school, and then the same middle school, the same high school. Then we came here, and we have been knowing each other forever.
Yeah.
When I first met him, he was like this height, and now he's a little bit higher than me. But we've known each other for a long time. I never felt right. when our first when our love story started, he chased me for quite a long time. And
No, that's not true.
now he denies it. And he's very sweet. He would prepare breakfast and then put it in my desk, because we are in the same class, and then I would go and see, I know this is from whom. And that lasted how long?
I don't know. A year?
A year. And basically it was just, it went normal. So from our junior high or senior high, we were together.
Yes, I think it's 2013.
And then I came to the States. I came to Ohio studying at Oberlin, and he stayed in China, studied in the Central Conservatory of Music in Beijing. So we had 2 years of long relationship, and it was not
Horrible.
recommended.
Yeah.
It almost ruined our relationship. So he has a golden heart. He came here for me, and so that's why he's now several years under me in school. But I see that sacrifice, and I am grateful.
How old is your cello?
This one is not my cello, because my cello just have a like big crack in the bottom. So this one is, I just borrowed from my cello teacher. So, sometimes this one, because the average cellos, I mean, the length of the fingerboard and the width is totally different. So, sometimes, I just do that because I'm not familiar with that yet. I think a professional cellist need at least a month or a half year use a new cello can familiar with that and as my body part, so this cello is for me is like brand new one, sometimes I don't know how to figure it out. So
how old is your cello?
Okay, my cello, I think it made in 2008. Yeah, it's not like the old cello, because my teacher has an old cello. It's 150 years. Wow. It's like 50,000. More than that. Yeah. Maybe he brought in the Black Friday. I don't know.
Please. Wow, that is an amazing question. That is an amazing question. First, I didn't know that you have the knowledge that we have very different instruments. Yes, this instrument has a long history. It started with the clavichord, where Bach had was just this long, and the sound was very, very mellow. So he could only play it in a room, basically playing for himself. And then it got to harpsichord, which had a completely different mechanism. This is like hammer strike the string and then it vibrates. But harpsichord is like a plucked instrument. So every note is plucked and there's no dynamics. You can't do forte or piano unless it has two manuals. One manual is forte and one manual is piano.
Yeah, it's like that sound.
Yeah.
You can only because they just use this one, like this sound.
So it starts and then stops. Not as much vibration as this instrument, but Bach loved that instrument, and that can go very far because of harpsichord. Many pieces Bach wrote was for harpsichord, and you don't see many expression markings like here is what I want to crescendo. No, but if you know the instrument, you know if the density of the notes and the direction of the notes and the speed of the notes all has to do with emotion. So that's a wonderful question. Perhaps you could be a music historian because it really has a lot behind it. And then afterwards, forte piano was invented by Crystal, and Bach didn't like the instrument. But Mozart, Beethoven, they all composed for that instrument, and it didn't have as many keys as today, the piano that we have today. That's why Beethoven kept challenging the instrument. He kept writing like notes beyond the reach of that keyboard. And the publishers were like, oh, this man is headache, And then afterwards, the piano got better and better until we had the double escapement when we can do like repeated notes very fast on one note. Now our instrument is actually not developed anymore from I think probably in the late 18th century to 19th century. We haven't developed much. Yeah. Did I answer your questions? Yeah, that's wonderful.
I'm going to go back to the old cello.
Okay.
So, does that play differently, like to get the Black Friday $2,000?
Yeah, that's a good deal. I can't get it anymore.
So how would his 150-year-old cello differ
I think the cello is developed it's slower than piano because a lot of one play piano. I mean it depends on how many person are research this instrument and how many range of people play this instrument. I mean his cello from 150 years old is pretty same, and he changed the fingerboard. And this one, this I don't know what it's called, and the bridge, and also the bottom part, and the wood color is really dark because it's the
Old wood.
yeah, the old wood. And okay, for in the early period of cello, we don't call cello, we call viol. So they play like this. They don't have like the bottom part, and they play like this. They use two legs to, and keep this, and they have like 6 string. It's really like a guitar actually. And so the Bach 6 suites for cello is actually from the viol, and they use the different bow. They have like a bridge, like this. It's like a roof here, and the sound is really different. And they didn't use the steel string. They use like they use the animals part to make the string. And actually, it's not big sound. They only can play in the church. It's fine. But if you the big concert hall like Carnegie Hall, it's you can't hear.
But the price of a cello depends largely on 2 things. One, the wood itself, and then the material.
Yeah.
And then second is the
year.
maker.
Yeah.
The maker and the year. The maker is such a big deal. Like if a wonderful cello maker is making this cello, and if he already died for 200 years, 300 years,
300 years.
then it costs a fortune to purchase that cello. Can you talk a little bit about Stradivarius?
Oh, Stradivarius?
Like how much would one Stradivarius cello cost?
I think Stradivarius only made, in his life, he only made 8 cello. So it's pretty, the quantity is pretty small. And I think the price should like over
Don't worry.
$1 billion. $1 billion dollars.
A museum own them, and
if you want to buy in Black Friday, even the price, because it's like the treasure of the country in Europe. So they didn't sell. They only gave like Yu Ma, and he only can use in his life. If he died, and the museum will get it back and give a new famous one. And yeah, this is the life of the cello. Yeah, for this cello, it's
Jackson, who's your favorite cellist of all time and why?
Cellist what?
Who's your favorite cellist?
Who's your favorite cellist of all time and why?
Okay. That's because the most I think it's Yu Ma, I think. Because, if you only say the technique part, cello technique part, I wouldn't say his name because, he's not the best one, virtuoso player. But, he's a successful cellist, I think, I think the famous or the good cellist should introduce our instruments to more people and let more people in this career and to flourish this instrument. So Yu Ma did that. A lot of cellists, new cellists heard his name and they decided to learn cello or something, especially in China because Yu Ma is a half Chinese, right? And he went to China a lot of time, and there are thousand children to listen his lecture or master class and his concert. So they decided to learn cello and go to the United States and other famous school. He developed a lot of cello cellist, I think. So I think he's one of my famous. So if I am cellist, I would introduce my instrument to more people, to let more people know this instrument and to understand how beautiful it is. Yeah.
I have two questions. First, have you mastered that Beethoven sonata? And the second one, have you started a GoFundMe for your Stradivarius?
I probably will take forever. The Beethoven Sonata, I did my first formal performance at UMKC actually 3 days ago. I did the whole thing. It's a journey that I felt that I was born again after performing that, especially the third movement. I don't think many people could understand that movement. They could hear the whole thing. I don't think so. But honestly, after I played that, I think I had this fulfillment of, I don't need anything else. It was so painful. It was death and beauty, and it was pain, but also tender. It's that kind of depression that you can't touch, but you enjoy it so much, and then afterwards you realize, oh, my life is fuller now. So I really admire this piece. If I master it, I don't know, it might take my entire lifetime to master it, but I will try.
For your second question, because I already have in last night in my dream.
No. Oh, in your dream.
Okay. Questions?
Yeah. Great. Any more questions?
My question was, is your daughter going to take piano lessons or cello lessons?
Not from us, I think. In China we have like traditional like a traditional what's it called?
A proverb.
A proverb that the parents cannot teach our children. So yeah, maybe I can just lead her to understand just some fact of the cello, because she's really familiar with cello and piano when we are playing. And if the children not familiar with that, it will see a long time to your instrument. Wow, or will touch, and she's like, oh my god.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's playing again.
You had enough of it.
No, don't play. Play with me.
You always say, don't play piano, mommy. Yeah.
How many pieces do you practice?
How many pieces? Currently, I'm working on this Beethoven Sonata, and then another Beethoven Sonata, Opus 22, and another Beethoven Sonata, Opus 2, number 3. And then I'm working on Tchaikovsky Concerto and Chopin 24 Preludes and Bach Italian Concerto. So I think maybe 6 to 7 in the same time. And then after this cycle, I will do another cycle. And it's endless. Yeah. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
We hope we can have.
Well, if you appreciated that and learned something, give them one more round of applause. As always, they do this out of their generosity of their heart and their love for music, but we do encourage you, if you feel led, to put something in the offering plate for them at the back. Everything that's in the offering plate, when it's all said and done, goes to them to help them out. And let other people know. We try to do this about once a month, and we would love to see more people here. And they do this not because they are expecting some reward, but because they really want to share music with people. And they have brought in flautists and other great pianists, and they try to bring in more people every time. So please just let others know and that how much this was a blessing to you, and let them know how much of a blessing they were to you as well. Thank you very much.